right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, man, hold up. So we're going to be discussing Cobra Commander. Welcome back to the loading dock. It's been a while. I had some things going where I had taken it apart, and now, so time will tell. But ultimately, this is where I like to shoot my videos. So welcome back. So we're discussing Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander is a character from the A Real American Hero saga. Now, if you don't know, Cobra Commander is not the dude's name. It's his title. So when you look at the figure line and the series and the movies, Cobra Commander always looked different. So that caused a lot of people to become, I guess you can say, unhappy with all of those because they say, hey man, that's not Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander was this, or Cobra Commander was that. But ultimately, if you read the comic lines, you keep track of the series, Cobra Commander was a different person. And now that you know that, collecting the different Cobra Commander figures will be a little bit different for you. You're not collecting the same character that they just didn't do right or put together well. You're actually collecting a totally different person under the label of Cobra Commander. But in this video, I want to discuss version 1 of Cobra Commander and his origins. So Cobra Commander was a gentleman, and he was how do I put this? I guess I'm going to have to take it back to the original story and tale. So if you're, again, familiar with A Real American Hero, then at one point they released a movie where they introduced Cobra La. And depends on who you are. Some people loved Cobra La, some people hated him. I personally loved the storyline with the Cobra La. And the reason being is it just was something different to look at. I personally wish in the movie they would have done it like it was someone's dream, and then they woke up and it was like, was it really a dream? Was it real? Did it really happen? So anyway, let's stay online with the topic. So Cobra La was I guess you can call them a civilization of reptilian people, I guess they were. But anyway, they ruled the world for like 1,000 years before people came into existence. But as people came in and got stronger and got powerful, they started to take over. The Cobra La civilization retreated to the underground and were able to rebuild themselves and take up space in the Middle Earth. So they were always bent, or I guess you can say hell-bent on reclaiming their land, which was above on the Earth's surface. So this particular character that we're discussing was a member of Cobra La, and Cobra La is the civilization, and he was pretty popular. And what he did was he created bioweapons to help with eradicating the people on the Earth's surface who had driven the civilization down into the Middle Earth. They wanted to get the Earth surface back. They wanted to move back up there. So this guy was actually creating all these weapons that he can, help get these people out of the way. for, I guess, for the lack of better words. So Globulus, who is the leader of, I guess he's their king, he appointed this gentleman as Cobra Commander, and he would be the first Cobra Commander, and he sent Cobra Commander. Now I'm going to use the name or the title Cobra Commander as the name. So Cobra Commander was tasked with going back up to the surface and taking over the world by any means necessary through world terrorism and complete domination of its people. So during that movie, we saw that I guess he wasn't getting the job done. So he sent Nemesis Enforcer and some of his other troops in Pathonia to relieve Cobra Commander of his duties. Now, if we remember Cobra Commander in that series, he was not a very intimidating character. He was skinny. He covered his face with this thing. We never really got to see what he looked like, only a few times. So he was not very intimidating, but he had an intimidating presence, and everyone seemed to have followed in his footsteps, and they did what he said for them to do. They did their jobs. He called these people of Cobra all types of names. He'd kick them. He'd call them fools. He called them losers, whatever he could call them. But you might say, man, that's messed up how he treated his people. But it's really not, because the first chance they got to overthrow him, they all turned their backs on him. So that was pretty crazy. But anyway, Cobra Commander, the action figure, was first introduced in 1982 as a mail-away. He was also released in 1982 as a packaged figure with, I think, the Cobra Dominator or some kind of, I don't remember what it was, but it was some kind of playset that he was released with that you can buy. This one you can actually pack. It was actually packaged. You could buy it from the store. So what we're looking at here today is G.I. Joe Retaliation Cobra Commander, and this has been coined the Ultimate Cobra Commander. And I think the reason why the Ultimate name came up for these a certain chosen few of these figures was because they were done so well and they were kept true to the original character. So you might see, I did a video on the Ultimate Storm Shadow. You might see that. And so you just see that these figures were done very well to what they were supposed to originally look like. So now that you know a little bit about the origins of Cobra Commander, we're going to take a look at this particular figure. If you look it up, I was going to post some of the pictures here, but there are so many of them that I don't want to waste your time. You're free to look them up on yojo.com. There's so many different Cobra Commanders. And now that you know that he's a different character, it's kind of cool because you know that all these people are pretty much different versions and different Cobra Commander appointees. So let's get a look at him here. Here he comes, package, G.I. Joe Retaliation. I say it all the time. That is the rock that they decided they wanted to add to G.I. Joe and not Roadblock. I think it would have been better if they would have just said, hey, we're adding the Rock to G.I. Joe. He's a cool character. Everybody loves him. You know, hey, you got Snake Eyes there. This is what he looks like in the package. Spinning rotor blades. He's got some kind of, we'll look at that in a second. Cobra Commander, ages 4 and up. Remember, we always say it, don't let him choke on this. Hasbro. Here's what he looks like in the on the back of the card. This is what it looks like. Here's a few of the other figures that were released in that line. Take a look at that. Awesome. And you can pause and read that. But there is no file card for him. So I'm going to post one right here so that you can pause and read. So without further ado, we're going to get into this packaging. And I'm going to do how I normally do and cut around the seams. But I don't really care what happens to these. These are not like card backs that I really care to keep. So let's get in there. Careful how you cut. You don't want to cut yourself. Cut away from you if you can. Sorry, I should have warned you, but all mint on card collectors, look away. But that's too late now. Oh well. So first and foremost, we got a single figure stand here. Nothing crazy. We've seen these before. Plain Jane, it does its job. But ultimately, that's what you're getting right there. All right. We'll file that right there. Next, he has these two blue, what looks like bombs. It may have it looks like it has some kind of biohazard symbol on the front. Next, we have this helicopter pack. I don't know what you would call that, but that's pretty much what it is. Comes in two pieces. Snap it together like that. There you go. Get a look at it. And it has this little compartment here that you can keep both of those, these two bombs in. Put those in there and see how well they hold. They're both held inside nicely. That's a pretty cool look. And then you press this button here and you get a little, looks like a, could that be a 180? I don't think it goes around all the way. Well, a little gimmicky. However, I actually really like this for Cobra Commander because this is the type of guy he is. He would fly around with this thing, drop bombs, and, you know, retreat on this. Remember, his favorite word after battle was retreat. It's got some missiles on it. I think this is pretty cool, nicely done. I think this is a nice, the Retaliation line, if you don't know or are familiar with that line, they release those figures with a lot of gimmicky things. But we have to keep in mind that these toys were made for kids. And kids just play with this stuff until they're done playing with it, and then that's that. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. Let's move along. Next, he has a single firearm. Let's take a look at that. These things are so difficult to hold on to. Awesome. I made this a while. I don't know why I don't use it, but anyway, this is what his gun looks like. Pretty plain Jane. It would be nice to get my hands on a 1/18 scale. What was the name of that Transformer? Yes, the Megatron. How he turned into the gun. He had that long arm brace going down there. That would be cool to have for this figure, since, I mean, he's made so perfectly, I guess. And lastly, he has a single knife. That's all of his weapons. We'll put that right there. He has an extra head sculpt. Let's get that to focus in. That looks really good. If you remember from back in the days of the cartoon, this looks really good. Very nicely detailed. The eyes could be a little better, but they're done well. I guess when you consider how the eyes were painted on for the run of the G.I. Joe modern line. So this is done really well. Very nice. And there you have him, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, the flunky. He just made so many mistakes that you gotta admit. But anyway, there he is. He looks really good, very nicely done. This is the one you want to have in your collection. I mean, if you're into the nostalgia feel of these modern figures, then this is the one you want to have. All right. I also have one in black and red. I'm not gonna pull that one out at the moment. I'll just post a picture because I gotta go in there and dig them out. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now because it's actually in a sense the same exact figure, just in all black with red hands, red feet, and a red mask, a red hooded head sculpt. This helmet is removable. There you have it. Nice chrome job on that. And just done very well. Here he is hooded. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I like the hooded, but I also like the original. That's how I first met Cobra Commander, in that chrome face mask thing. And but you gotta admit, he looks really good. Let's give a 360. Very nice. Awesome. So moving right along, I guess it is time that we give this gentleman here a grade or a rating. And when you consider the nostalgia, how well he was done, how the parts of the figure was put together, and how they, this is pure nostalgia. So with that being said, I gotta honestly, wholeheartedly give my man right here an A+. He has joined the A+ community, which is a very small community, but there are A+ G.I. Joe figures out there, and I believe he is one of them. So yeah, if you don't have this one yet for your collection and you're looking to get one for your collection, I suggest you do it. If you're still on the fence about it, yeah, do it. It'll be a great addition to your collection. And with that being said, I think I'm going to end this video right here. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free, put them down below. I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. Also, this video ran a little long, just explaining all the stuff about Cobra Commander. So I appreciate you if you stuck with me and you watched this video. It just is what it is. I'm going to keep creating these videos. Hopefully you're enjoying them. I'm enjoying interacting with all of you guys. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace.